Welcome to your Daily 5 for Thursday, November 30th, 2023. I've noticed something in the last, couple months. I mean, not really specifically in the last couple months, but I've been seeing more about this from certain people. And it is a specific type of fear about the future of movies from people who are lovers of film. And just the most recent examples I can think of, I watched a video from Chris Stuckman where he was talking about how he's concerned about what the future of movies looks like. And in particular, he was talking about the fact, of people going to the theater and mid-range films not getting made, something I think the Red Letter Media people have talked about as well. And most recently, I watched a long-form video from, I think it's Patrick H. Willem. I think the title of it is Who Murdered Cinema, where he does basically kind of a Agatha Christie style analysis of different things that, in his opinion, mark a particularly a bigger threat to movies and cinema. And I don't even know what that word necessarily means. That's sort of a giveaway when people are trying to define a term. But they all revolve around this idea that streaming and the decline of physical media sales and people not going to the theater is going to mean that all we're going to have in terms of entertainment when it comes to movies is going to be Marvel type stuff or movies that are really big budget blockbuster hits, even though it doesn't seem like that is even happening now because the Marvel movies are making less and less money, which I think is an indicator that the public is kind of tired of the exact type of movie making that both Stuckman and Willem are pointing at as a problem. Lots of sequels, interconnected films, the franchises being the draw as opposed to movie stars. Although I don't really, and that's a specific thing to Willem, I don't know why a movie star is necessarily something we really want. I understand what his point is, but I don't know if that's a desirable outcome either. But honestly, I kind of watch these videos and hear these opinions, and I think it feels to me very similar to the fear around machine-generated artwork. This same level of utter terror that some people have because they think that that art forms that are based on original visions and very unique and special expressions of creative ability are going to go away because of something that's popular, whether it's machine-generated artwork or whether it's, big-budget streamer-based movie making. And I just don't have that fear, because this stuff isn't really new. Now, maybe some of it was sped up by the pandemic and the rise of Netflix and other streaming services, although I don't know about that because as their prices keep going up, I don't know that people are going to keep watching those either. I don't know that theaters won't suddenly become more cost-effective for people than subscribing to 8 streaming services every month at $25 to $30 a pop. So I'm not sure we won't see a swing back to movie theater and physical media sales because people are not going to want to be paying these prices all the time. But even if it does, even if it sticks around, even if nothing changes, it's not going to somehow make it where people can't make the movies they want to make. And the reason for that is you look at somebody like Len Kabasinski, who I've done many shows with and who's made movies on very, very, very small budgets and yet has a full-time job, does his movies, makes what he wants to make. Of course, if he had 3 times the budget, he'd do things that he couldn't do now. But it's not as if I've ever heard him say, I just can't make movies anymore because I can't get the things done that I want to get done. He knows how to do it. Not to mention that movie making becomes cheaper all the time. You can edit and shoot on a phone. You can do all of these things without needing a studio system. So I am not convinced that artistic vision is suddenly going to be extinguished by the fact that Netflix runs a lot of junky movies and series now. It just doesn't make sense to me. It assumes that movie making and the consumption and production of entertainment is in a static form, and it's not. It evolves and changes. New voices come in. They do things differently. They figure out how to do them cheaper. Technology evolves to make it possible for more voices and more visions to be able to be expressed that might not have had access before. And what you end up with is weirder, stranger films. And yes, a lot of Transformers junk too. I've complained about those as much as anybody else. If you look back at my reviews over the years, they're certainly not usually for the big ticket movie marquee stuff that most people are watching that these creators are concerned about. They're for smaller, weirder stuff from before. And that stuff still gets produced. Mad God exists now after how many years being made. These things are still going to happen. It might be different. It might change in some ways, but I just don't have this fear. It feels, again, like a lot of the machine-generated stuff. But I'd be curious. Anybody who's listening, watch these videos, and you tell me, am I wrong, or are they? Or is it neither is wrong, but just neither is right? Later.